Good day, folks, and might I say happy holidays and a Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us here at Your Health. On today's program, we'd like to talk about curcumin, the extracted pigment from the spice turmeric, and its many varied health applications. Tremendous program today, but first let's go to our news. Let's see what's happening in the health world. Consuming a high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet may prolong life. Researchers from the University of California, Davis, used an animal model designed to closely resemble human metabolism to compare the effect of varying diets on health and longevity. They found the animals fed a high-fat, low-carbohydrate, or ketogenic diet lived longer, had greater muscle strength, and they developed fewer tumors. The study was published by Cell Metabolism. Well, folks, this one is worth the effort. These laboratory mice, bred to closely resemble human physiology, were fed either standard mouse chow, a low-carbohydrate diet, or an extremely low-carbohydrate, high-fat diet. The extremely low-carbohydrate, high-fat diet is also known as a ketogenic diet because when fats are metabolized in the absence of carbs, they're converted into a chemical class known as ketones. And these ketones have distinct physiologic actions and can be easily detected in the urine. They found the animals fed this ketogenic diet lived 13% longer. They had a better quality of life. They had improved memory, stronger muscles, improved coordination, along with lower levels of systemic inflammation, and they formed fewer tumors. All of these benefits simply because they ate very few carbohydrates and more healthy fats. And that's the whole point of this research. Now, in recent years, we have experienced a paradigm shift. We were once told high-carb, low-fat was best, but now leading nutrition experts tell us that fats are not the health-destroying culprits we once thought they were. In other words, saturated fats from animals do not promote cardiovascular disease. Now, obviously, some fats are better than others, of course, but fats from feedlot animals fed a high-grain diet, they're less beneficial. Grass-fed animals raised in their natural state produce fats that calm inflammation and promote good health. Also, animal fats derived from cured meats are still inflammatory and bad. Fish oils are very good. And vegetable oils, especially monounsaturated vegetable oils like avocado and olive oil, are exceptionally good for health and disease prevention. Now, the trans fats, well, they've been bad all along and should be completely avoided. So, if fats aren't bad, what types of food should be avoided? You guessed it, refined white sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and refined wheat flour. Well, they're the real health-destroying culprits, not fats. Make an effort to eat fewer carbs and make real progress in your health. Brain cells have been identified that help control appetite. Researchers from the University of Warwick have discovered that specialized brain cells respond to increasing levels of amino acids in the bloodstream. When these cells, called tanycytes, sense amino acids, they send a message telling the brain that we're full. The amino acids arginine and lysine cause the strongest tanycyte response. Researchers hope their new discovery will help dieters to better control their weight. A study was published by Molecular Metabolism. Well, this one is fascinating, and its results could prove useful to dieters. What we have learned here is that when we eat protein-rich foods, the hypothalamus's tanycytes sends a signal telling us we're full. The amino acids that cause the strongest full signal are arginine and lysine. So if we're trying to lose weight by restricting calories, it would make sense to eat an arginine and lysine-rich foods, as these foods will help us feel full and satisfied with fewer calories. Now, all protein-rich foods contain arginine and lysine, but turkey, pork, and beef, fish, nuts and seeds, beans and legumes, dairy, and particularly avocado contain the most of this satisfaction-inducing amino acids. Now, basically what we're describing here is simply a healthy diet. Eat these healthy foods and feel satisfied and weigh less. Researchers have identified 7 steps to a healthy heart and brain. Scientists from the American Heart Association reviewed 182 scientific studies to identify 7 lifestyle traits and steps that, if followed, would greatly reduce the risk of dementia, stroke, and vascular disease, including heart attack and heart failure. Currently, the United States spends over $200 billion a year on dementia alone. The 7 steps to a better brain and healthier cardiovascular system are: number 1, manage your blood pressure. Number 2, control your cholesterol. Next, keep your blood glucose levels normal. Stay active and exercise regularly. Number 5, eat a healthy diet, lose the extra weight, and finally, don't smoke. Now that's a simple and effective plan supported by the most current scientific evidence. And let's be clear, these goals can usually be achieved without the use of medicine and by exercising basic healthy lifestyle practices. Some will, of course, need medicines to help control their blood pressure and glucose levels, but the vast majority can achieve these goals with natural measures if they start practicing them early in life. Now, a word to the wise, living healthy provides tremendous rewards. Well, today on Your Health, we'd like to discuss the health-promoting attributes of curcumin. So stay tuned and let's learn more together.
I'm Cindy Becker.
And I'm Dr. Richard Becker. Are you thinking about your health as we approach a new year? Well, many of us do, even though our health is important every day of the year.
If you have a wellness plan in mind, December's a month with special holiday prices. Plus, shipping within the continental U.S. is free for all orders over $50.
We'd like to thank you for your continued support. It's because of you that we are able to provide this great educational service.
So call us today to restock your supplements for the coming year and tell a friend about the savings, or order online at bioinnovations.net for the best prices of the season.
We hope the new year brings you happiness and better health for your entire family. Merry Christmas.
And a happy, healthy new year. Cindy Becker, and this is Your Health at a Glance. Do you want to maintain your mental clarity? With people living longer, we need more research into the ways to lower the risk of dementia. Studies are showing us that people who regularly read books, complete puzzles, or solve word games like the Sunday crossword puzzle maintain their mental abilities longer than people who don't. We also preserve memory by maintaining social activities, such as volunteering, attending religious services, or regularly talking with friends and neighbors. And diet plays a big role as well. It's important to eat a nutritious diet free from heavy metals and chemical pollutants, and full of vitamins and the essential fatty acids which power the brain. These simple and important steps will help keep you mentally healthy for many years to come. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Cindy Becker.
Is your life out of balance? It may be. The average American consumes far too many omega-6s and not enough omega-3s. This creates an imbalance.
So what can we do to get back in balance? We can eat a healthy diet.
And most of us need to supplement with omega-3 rich fish oil. Fish oil contains omega-3s with DHA and EPA, fatty acids that promote good brain and heart health. So reduce omega-6 in your nutritional plan and boost omega-3 to get back in balance.
To help you do that, BioInnovations offers 2 products, the Fish Oil Complex and Omega-369, both formulated for your health and well-being. So how do you choose? For highest levels of DHA and EPA, choose the Fish Oil Complex. For a balanced formula, choose the 369. Go online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. Welcome back and happy holidays, everyone. It's great to be with you today. Today's show is going to be quite interesting. We get to talk about the amazing spice turmeric and its component curcumin. This one, I gotta tell you, curcumin is just fantastic, and that can definitely help us all have a healthy holiday. So Richard, curcumin, which comes from turmeric, amazing, amazing spice.
It truly is. It's one of the mysterious, wonderful agents of the Orient. And this turmeric, it's a member of the ginger family of plants. And if you look at a ginger plant and turmeric plant, they look very much alike. It's just the turmeric plant, the rhizome root, you know, the bulb at the bottom, when you cut it, has a bright orange color to it. So it's, and of course the ginger is a bright yellow, but the orange tells you it's the turmeric. Turmeric is a dried powder used in cooking. It's used to make mustard. It's a coloring agent. It can be used to add color to a wide variety of foods, including butter and cheeses. It's used as a spice and flavor enhancer in foods and as a medicinal agent. Curcumin and the curcuminoids, molecules similar to curcumin, are the active yellow pigment found in the spice turmeric. It's what gives it its orangey yellow color. In India, where turmeric is a common food, they have a distinctly different pattern of disease there. Colon cancer rates are much lower, Alzheimer's disease rates are much lower, cardiovascular disease rates are lower. Now, there are many reasons for this, but epidemiologists, people who study disease patterns, they are quite sure that curcumin is playing a role in reducing their Alzheimer's disease, colon cancer, and the variety of diseases. It's a major reason for that difference in disease patterns compared to North America. Curcumin, this active pigment extracted out of the turmeric spice, which is what we're talking about today in the curcuminoids. The overview, here it is. It has anti-cancer, anti-tumor activity, antioxidant activity, anti-arthritic, anti-amyloid. That's the proteinaceous deposits of Alzheimer's disease, the amyloid. Anti-ischemia or heart attack properties, anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties, liver protective, has great antibiotic properties including antiviral, antibacterial, antiseptic, anti-malarial properties, anti-atherosclerotic or plaques in the arteries, even hardening of the arteries is reduced, antiplatelet, meaning we don't make blood clots when we shouldn't. We want our blood to clot when we need to, but not when there's no damage done. So it has this antiplatelet, the stickiness has that effect, and it also is a chelator of heavy metals and a detoxifier of toxins and poisons. So the curcumin effect is wide and broad. It is best known, however, as a potent antioxidant that counters virtually all types of free radicals. Now, what is the scientific evidence on curcumin? You know, we hear so often from our doctors and people who should know more about these subjects, well, you know, those natural agents, that's fine. It probably won't hurt you, but they've not been proven. There's not much evidence on it. Well, this is not true at all. We have more scientific evidence on curcumin alone than Lipitor, one of the world's leading drugs. So I get so tired of hearing this. You know, asking a typical MD about nutritional advice is much like asking a plumber about electrician advice. They don't really overlap. And until doctors take on more responsibility for nutritional advice, which would really round out their knowledge, we should ask nutritionists, naturopaths, chiropractors, and alternative medicine practitioners about nutritional advice before we go to MDs. Now, not all MDs are that way. They're not all that way, are they? Some have really embraced this complementary knowledge and this complete holistic approach. And if you have a physician who embraces this knowledge and knows more about it, stick with them, because they will serve you well over time. Thousands of studies now on curcumin, widespread from all over the world. The pharmaceutical companies are very excited about these curcuminoid molecules because they want to change them into drugs. But you know what happens when they do this process of changing a naturally based molecule into a patentable medicine? It exaggerates the side effects. Yes, it gives you a potency that is unmatched, but the side effects come, and it often limits, and almost always limits, their usefulness. So curcumin is potent. It stands alone. You don't need to change it to have a wide variety of beneficial effects. Stick with the original for now. Who knows what science will bring? But for now, curcumin's the best way to go. Let's talk a little bit about how curcumin goes to work. most of its action is basically through its antioxidant action. But it's not just a molecular antioxidant. This is an antioxidant that can direct the cell to change its behavior. So if the cell is stressed, this antioxidant molecule sends a signal to the nucleus to correct its actions and correct the physiologic process that's going on. DNA regulation. This is all proven. Curcumin upregulates proteins that controls the DNA-directed production of detoxification and antioxidant enzymes. This tells your body what to do better. So when we're under stress from illness or disease, or we're living in a polluted environment, which we all do, it tells the cell how to better deal with those problems. It also works as a molecular antioxidant. It's a really fascinating molecule for those of you who enjoy chemistry. Google the curcumin molecule and look at it from the keto-enol perspective and its Michael's reaction acceptorability, and I think you'll find a fascinating subject there. And you chemistry students who need a little project to turn in for a term paper, do it on that molecule. You will please your professor, I promise you, because chemists love this molecule because of its potential. But it also targets the thioreduction system. Now let me help you understand what this is. This is a fundamental protein complex that see, we can never say all living forms because we've never checked all living forms, have we? But so far, every living species ever checked has this thioreduction system in it. And what it does is, as our bodies build up these complex protein molecules, this thioreduction system recycles them. So think of it from this way. Let's say I eat a sugar-rich meal and I secrete insulin to deal with that sugar. That makes sense, right? But once that sugar's gone, I don't need that insulin hanging around to drive my sugar down to abnormally low, so low I have a seizure from hypoglycemia. We don't want that to happen. Well, thioreduction, this system recycles that insulin so it doesn't build up and cause problems. But it's not just insulin. It is dozens upon dozens of complex, physiologically normal molecules that, if left around, would cause more harm than good. We need them to do their action, but once that action's done, they need to be recycled. Does that make sense? So this is fundamental to life, this thioredoxin system. If it is knocked out, and this has been done in experiments, you don't get past the 4-cell stage. You don't get past the early embryonic stage. It is that vital for life. So curcumin influences this fundamental system that is necessary for life, and without proper function of it, we get sick very quick. And this is the main essence of how curcumin actually works. It does more. We can't tell you everything. There's thousands of articles we could discuss, but curcumin also improves the superoxide dismutase and glutathione levels. These are some of our innate systems that fuel the correcting of the metabolic milieu, as the physiologists would say. This is much like, and this is worth the effort, folks. It helps you understand why we do what we do. As we burn our food, we create a metabolic stew of chemicals. If you have a campfire, you know there's going to be smoke. Well, it's the same basic oxidation reduction reaction going on in our bodies, but it's highly controlled. If our physiology is off a little, and it happens to all of us eventually, it creates a metabolic smoke, much like the campfire. Well, that has to be dealt with, or it causes great damage. That's the free radical concept that goes on in our bodies. It's a normal part of metabolism, but it has to be dealt with. And our body has complex systems that do that, but they fail from time to time. Curcumin boosts it up to help to counter those reactions. That's the basics of how it works. When we return from these important messages, let's talk about how, when we apply this knowledge to things like cancer and brain health and the cardiovascular tree, what curcumin can do for us. We'll be right back.
I'm Cindy Becker.
And I'm Dr. Richard Becker. Are you thinking about your health as we approach a new year? Well, many of us do, even though our health is important every day of the year.
If you have a wellness plan in mind, December's a month with special holiday prices. Plus, shipping within the continental U.S. is free for all orders over $50.
We'd like to thank you for your continued support. It's because of you that we are able to provide this great educational service.
So call us today to restock your supplements for the coming year and tell a friend about the savings, or order online at bioinnovations.net for the best prices of the season.
We hope the new year brings you happiness and better health for your entire family. Merry Christmas.
And a happy, healthy new year. I'm Cindy Becker for Your Health at a Glance. We all have said, I need to get some exercise, but how many of us put on our walking shoes and go? Learning a little more about the health benefits of exercise may help you get motivated to lace up those walking shoes. Exercise helps to control our appetite and weight. It maintains strong muscles. It promotes the release of endorphins that counter depression while helping us feel good about our lives. Exercise helps to lower blood glucose, promotes a strong circulatory system, and controls cholesterol. Exercise even helps us get a good night's sleep. Recent research finds dog owners who regularly walk their pet are 34% more likely to achieve fitness goals. You can get all of these health benefits by walking 30 minutes 4 times a week, just 30 minutes a day. Start today, and you'll start to get all those benefits. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Cindy Becker. Are you one of the 62 million Americans suffering from gastrointestinal problems? Do you struggle with other chronic conditions? That's why we offer Dr. Becker's Bionutrient Probiotics.
After years of research, we developed a revolutionary probiotic formula with gastrodefense technology. This system protects the good bacteria from stomach acid so the probiotics reach the intestines where they go to work. Additionally, we use live count technology to prolong the shelf life of the probiotics, so there's no need for refrigeration.
Dr. Becker's Bionutrient Probiotics is a powerful combination and one of the most effective formulas available today. And we offer a children's chewable formula too, both at prices you can afford. Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. That number's 888-442-2128. Welcome back, everyone. We've been talking about the amazing supplement Curcumin. I got to tell you, this one, it just has such a widespread application to our health. It's amazing. Now, we're going to go through several different disease processes, and you'll see how Curcumin applies to each one. So, Richard, would you like to start with cancer, maybe?
Let's do. We've talked about the basic mechanism of how curcumin helps our bodies deal with environmental stresses and these varied things that occur to us with disease. Let's talk a little bit about cancer. Curcumin inhibits cancer growth by at least 20 different mechanisms. Isn't that amazing? Some of the things it does for cancer, it promotes DNA repair. When our code for wellness is fractured or altered in some way that could lead to cancer, it helps to repair it. It stimulates the cell signaling that we've talked about, correcting cell processes. It modulates cell cycles, you know, the reproductive cycle of a cell that can go askew and into cancer. It helps to correct that. It works through epigenetic mechanisms. The coating around the gene, the histone that influences gene function, curcumin influences the histone. And it also, there's a new one that just came out on the effect of curcumin. It influences microRNA. They used to call it junk RNA because they didn't know what it did. They thought it was just there for no reason. There's nothing in the body for no reason. Everything has a purpose. And they found that curcumin helps to influence proper function of these microRNA. That's a hot new topic in scientific research. Curcumin inhibits cancer development at all 6 stages. Get this: transformation, initiation of cancer, the promotion of the cancer, promotion of the growth, the invasion of the cancer into normal tissue, the development of blood vessels into the cancer. It inhibits that, and it inhibits metastasis. These are all the stages of how cancer grows, and curcumin inhibits each and every one. And it inhibits, for example, angiogenesis, the development of new blood vessels into the tumor, because a tumor can't grow without blood. It has to have blood. It inhibits angiogenesis by at least 14 different mechanisms. Each one is done gently. So if it were only one mechanism and it were really strong, you might have side effects from that. We don't want side effects from our natural agents. 14 mechanisms. It inhibits the it supports apoptosis. This is the natural death of a cancer cell. It supports that by 10 different mechanisms that we know of. There may be more even still. Multiple studies shows that we have an improved response to many traditional cancer drugs, and it reduces the side effects of chemotherapy and radiation. Curcumin science is the single best argument we have for complementing your cancer care with natural agents. Please include curcumin for the cancer patient. The following cancers have been studied with curcumin. Evidence of benefits in the carcinomas. Those are your most deadly ones. They can all kill you. You all know that, but your carcinomas, like carcinoma of the pancreas, carcinoma of the breast, carcinoma of the prostate, these are the very deadly cancers. Sarcomas, they're deadly too. They've been studied. Lymphomas and leukemias, including neuroblastoma, head and neck tumors, tumors of the tongue and oral cavity, esophageal cancer, breast cancer, ovary, liver, and biliary tract, pancreatic cancer, colorectal cancers, prostate, multiple myeloma, obesity-related cancer. These are intestinal cancers, colon cancer, and metastasis from solid tumors. There are some dramatic curcumin success stories, and if you seek them out, you'll hear of some remarkable stories. Now, I recommend including curcumin in your complete plan. I'm not saying replace your doctor, replace chemo and surgery in the traditional ways I'm not saying that. I'm saying use them together. We've made tremendous strides in cancer therapy over the last 20, 30 years. We're really making a difference. And I think part of that is the addition of these complementary measures. And other countries are studying that effect much more than we are, much more. And they're confirming that assumption of mine. So please include curcumin in your cancer plans. Now let's talk about the brain. This is a major area of concern. We have higher and increasing numbers of Alzheimer's and dementia cases in our country. It's creating a tremendous burden, and it's a terrible way to end our productive years with dementia and senility. It's really sad to see that. But curcumin helps to fight dementia by a variety of ways. It lessens the inflammation in the brain. Inflammation, the development of these amyloid plaques and tau particles accumulate in specific parts of the brain. In the different parts, like in the amygdala and hippocampus, that's Alzheimer's disease. In the substantia nigra, that's Parkinson's disease. Well, curcumin inhibits the formation of those plaques in all of them. It helps to prevent all of it. Regions of the brain causes different conditions, your Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, etc. Inflammation of the brain is often due to the brain's immune cells, the microglia, trying to fight off other issues such as plaques, viruses, or heavy metals. And so you get this accumulation of abnormal proteinaceous material that really just destroys brain connections. And curcumin helps to reduce all that. It inhibits lipid peroxidation. What this is the cell membrane of the brain. You know, the brain is 70% fats, lipids, and oils, and this is primarily found in the cell membranes. And if our nutritional status or things are off, these cell membranes oxidize very fast. We're getting smoke from the fire again. Getting the idea? We're getting smoke from the fire again, and it's highly damaging to the cell membranes of the brain and central nervous system. Curcumin helps to prevent that lipid peroxidation. Curcumin lowers inflammation by at least 18 known mechanisms. And it works in the brain, it gets into the brain, it's not just in the bloodstream, and it's absorbed enough. Due to the mechanism of how curcumin works, you know, through cell signaling and influencing the DNA. It doesn't take much. You don't have to absorb large amounts. This has been one of the criticisms of curcumin. How could it possibly do any of these things? Because it's a fat-soluble substance. We only absorb a fraction of what we ingest, so how could it do anything? It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to create the effect. And this has all been thoroughly studied. 18 different mechanisms of lowering inflammation in the brain. It also lowers the amyloid formation. Studies have shown early Alzheimer's, neurocognitive decline. If the patient is placed on curcumin, it stalls the decay of the mental status. If they add vitamin D to the curcumin, it stops it. It can be held steady with that. Now that is a fascinating line of research, and this is explaining why in cultures who include a lot of curcumin, they have dramatically lower rates of Alzheimer's. That can be you with curcumin. We'll be right back, folks, for more.
I'm Cindy Becker.
And I'm Dr. Richard Becker. Are you thinking about your health as we approach a new year? Well, many of us do, even though our health is important every day of the year.
If you have a wellness plan in mind, December's a month with special holiday prices. Plus, shipping within the continental U.S. is free for all orders over $50.
We'd like to thank you for your continued support. It's because of you that we are able to provide this great educational service.
So call us today to restock your supplements for the coming year and tell a friend about the savings, or order online at bioinnovations.net for the best prices of the season.
We hope the new year brings you happiness and better health for your entire family. Merry Christmas.
And a happy, healthy new year. Cindy Becker, and this is Your Health at a Glance. Heavy metal poisoning is a growing concern, and it may play a role in your health. It can happen through occupational exposure or environmental pollution, or both. If you work in a metal shop, a smelting plant, or any type of facility that uses electroplating or welding, you may be suffering from heavy metal exposure. But those of us who live in cities may suffer from heavy metal exposure through environmental pollution. It's the #1 cause of heavy metal poisoning. It can occur over a long period of exposure, or it can happen after a single dose. Symptoms can be overlooked because they're symptoms of common diseases such as fatigue, memory loss, tremor, joint pain, and indigestion. These are common symptoms of heavy metal poisoning. If your health is declining and you haven't been able to figure out the underlying cause, discuss heavy metal poisoning with your doctor. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Cindy Becker.
Can you lower your risk of disease? The answer is yes. One way is by including fruit in your diet. Fruit contains valuable nutrients that can reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, and even some cancers.
We've searched the world and found 4 fruits we believe are among the best. Noni from Polynesia, acai from the Amazon, and 2 new ones, goji and mangosteen.
These 4 juices each have amazing properties that make them great additions to your nutritional plan. If you're a diabetic or have chronic pain, these juices will help you feel better and have more energy. Plus, they help with digestion.
Now you can experience the health-promoting benefits of all 4 in one convenient package we call the Fruits of the World 4-pack. And remember, it's 50% off by the case. Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. That number's 888-442-2128. We're back, everyone, having a great discussion on curcumin. Isn't this just amazing information? And I've got to tell you, this is a great time to get your curcumin. You know why? It is holiday savings time at BioInnovations, and I mean, what a savings time we're having. Best prices of the season and free shipping on your orders over $50. Of course, that's the mainland USA. And Richard and I were just talking in the break about Another really good reason to stock up on your curcumin now is because it's a soft gel. Why is that a good idea? Well, as you know, it's kind of tough to ship those soft gels in the summer when it is so hot across the country. So this is a good time to stock up. Good prices,
yes,
great shipping, and cooler weather.
Yeah.
So Richard, this is just amazing information. We were talking about curcumin in the brain. One of the things, I think the first thing we learned about curcumin that really spoke to me was how it crosses the blood-brain barrier.
Right.
And I could feel that when you take it,
you can.
This is one of those supplements that you get a burst of brain energy, if you will.
I do. I do
Exactly.
when I get it, and if I forget to take it for a week or two, I notice, you know, what's missing? Oh, it's the curcumin. I got to get back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does help. We were talking about how curcumin helps to preserve our brain well into our senior years and reduce our risk for dementia and the neurodegenerative diseases. The science is, there are clues what we can do to help preserve brain function. Let me give it to you. Magnesium. Make sure you're taking your magnesium, your daily allotment of magnesium, your curcumin, we've been talking about that, vitamin D, fish oil, and the B complex vitamins. That helps to maintain brain function, brain mass, neuro abilities, much longer, much better. Also, don't forget your exercise, get outdoors, socialize, worship, social interaction. This is all very important. It helps to maintain and challenge yourself. You know, learn new things. Watch this program and learn about health. That's a good way to keep your mind stimulated with new concepts and learning new things. Also, we're talking about curcumin, how it helps to protect the brain. It helps to improve the circulation, the blood flow to the brain. It helps to reduce ischemic damage. This has been tested in laboratory animals. And if there is damage occurs to the brain, like a lacunar infarct, a little small, little tiny, little pinpoint strokes. This is fairly common. This happens a lot. It helps to repair that tissue better. It is a powerful antioxidant. If we combine the curcumin with magnesium, the damage from stroke, whether it's small or large, is cut by 50%. It's that effective. So no one's planning their stroke, right? Well, today's a good day for a stroke. That's just absurd. We don't live our life that way. We live with a disease prevention concept. That's what we're trying to do. If it strikes, I'm going to be better off because of this plan I'm on. What else? Oxidative stress. Curcumin binds up heavy metals, such as excessive iron. Some of us, you know, we accumulate iron too much, and all that free iron in the bloodstream, it is highly damaging. It rusts. It rusts us is basically what it does. And curcumin chelates the iron, binds the excess iron, not the iron you need to survive and do well and be healthy, but the excess iron. This is hemochromatosis, hemosiderosis deposits in the state of hemochromatosis. Too much iron, iron overload. It helps to correct that. If that's your phenomena, if you have to go have blood taken out every 3 months or so because your blood gets too thick, polycythemia, curcumin is absolutely in your best interest. Make it a part of your daily routine. What else? It increases the brain's level of glutathione. It helps to protect us. It reduces the organophosphate pesticides. It binds up free radicals in the brain. The aging brain also produces less energy. Yeah, have you noticed that with age? Well, I just don't have the mental energy to tackle that task. Well, from good scientific studies, curcumin is capable of increasing brain energy by an astounding 158%. An energetic mind is better able to care for itself, deal with the problems that we all face day to day, and to maintain our independence and living on our own as long as we wish to. Curcumin will help you do that. That's an amazing statistic. 158% improved brain energy. Remember, the brain needs that energy to heal and repair, not just to think. Remember, your brain is highly metabolic. About a fourth of our metabolic demand comes from this brain. It's a disproportionate high amount of energy the brain requires. And when our energy exchange is subpar, we suffer from it. I'd just rather sit. Have you know that feeling? I think we've all experienced that. And I think, Cindy, that's what you notice when you take the curcumin. You feel that brain energy spike, and it gives you the ability to deal with the challenges of the day. Also, a brain without much energy is a brain more likely to be depressed. There is a lot of research now and more coming on the benefits of curcumin for depression, the benefits of curcumin added to your Prozac class of antidepressants. It makes them much more effective. You can use curcumin as a standalone antidepressant, or you can use it with your medicines. No drug interactions, you're okay there. How about the heart and vascular tree? Curcumin lowers cholesterol. It lowers triglycerides. It lowers the oxidative plaque formation that may become inflamed and break loose and cause a coronary event. It improves that. It improves endothelial dysfunction, which is the prelude to hypertension and vascular disease in general. It improves heart failure. That's from clinical studies. And it decreases reperfusion. This is if you need a heart lung bypass machine, basically, is what we're talking about. And we stop the heart to re-plumb the vessels to the heart, and then it's opened up again and blood flows again. That's when the injury occurs. If we're taking curcumin, we reduce that. In fact, in Thailand, they did a study, 4 grams of curcumin a day, 65% lower risk of heart attack when they did bypasses. The reperfusion injury was reduced. Now, after this break, let's talk about curcumin and diabetes. Well, there's so much to learn on curcumin, but we'll do our best. We'll be right back.
I'm Cindy Becker.
And I'm Dr. Richard Becker. Are you thinking about your health as we approach a new year? Well, many of us do, even though our health is important every day of the year.
If you have a wellness plan in mind, December's a month with special holiday prices. Plus, shipping within the continental U.S. is free for all orders over $50.
We'd like to thank you for your continued support. It's because of you that we are able to provide this great educational service.
So call us today to restock your supplements for the coming year and tell a friend about the savings, or order online at bioinnovations.net for the best prices of the season.
We hope the new year brings you happiness and better health for your entire family. Merry Christmas.
And a happy, healthy new year. Our hope for you today. I'm Cindy Becker. In the epic movie Gone with the Wind, Scarlett O'Hara says she won't think about her problems today or she'll go crazy. She'll think about them tomorrow. How should we think about tomorrow in our lives? In Matthew 6, verse 33, we get advice about tomorrow. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. It's so difficult to not worry about the future. Many of us catastrophize about the future. That's spending all your time thinking about all the catastrophes that might happen. So let tomorrow worry about itself. That way, we won't miss the wonderful things happening in our lives right now. I'm Cindy Becker. This is our hope for you today.
Every day, about 200 million Americans do not get enough of a key essential mineral.
That mineral is magnesium. The typical American diet does not supply enough.
And magnesium is so important. It protects bones and helps more than 300 different enzymes in the human body perform efficiently.
That's why BioInnovations offers chelated magnesium capsules for oral use and topical magnesium gel to be applied to the skin. That's 2 forms of magnesium to meet your daily needs.
Scientific evidence points to chelation as the best method of vitamin and mineral formulation.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health.
Because chances are you are one of the 200 million Americans who need more magnesium every day.
Again, that number is 888-442-2128. Call today. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. We're back, everyone, talking about the amazing curcumin. This is just fascinating information, isn't it? Well, to help you get this, I've got to let you know again, it is holiday savings time at BioInnovations. Fantastic prices. Wow, I mean, this is the time of year where you can really stock up. You can give the gift of good health to those you love for their Christmas present. Curcumin. You don't want to miss this one. It's in on that. Best prices of the season and free shipping on orders over $50 in the mainland USA. So, Richard, there's a few more we've got to get to.
Well, diabetes. You know, we have record numbers of diabetes and more coming. And remember, we talked about how curcumin helps set the cells right. It helps direct the nucleus to institute the wellness plan that all cells have in it to correct the errors of metabolism, and this really applies to the diabetic. Curcumin protects the liver. You know how as our blood sugars go up and as we gain weight, we tend to accumulate fat in the liver, and the fat in the liver is highly inflammatory, and that leads to fibrosis or scarring of the liver, which leads to cirrhosis if we don't do something about that. Now, not everybody gets that, but enough does that we need to talk about it. And most of us, most all of us, as we gain weight, we add fat to our liver. Well, there's an 80% reduction of fatty liver statistics when we use curcumin. 80% reduction is propensity to gain fat in the liver. And it also inhibits the inflammatory response that the fatty liver institutes. So this is imperative. Also, curcumin reduces blood glucose injury to peripheral tissues. It also helps to regulate our glucose levels in the bloodstream and our triglyceride levels. It actually decreases insulin resistance, so we process our sugars better. It does all of this stuff, and this has all been proven multiple times in laboratories all around the world. It's not just some curcumin company who wants to sell you stuff. These are independent research projects confirming each other's work. That's how we come to good knowledge. Let's see, it decreases the inflammation associated with diabetes. It reduces free radical damage to the kidneys. You know, diabetes is the leading cause of chronic kidney disease in America. And it helps to reduce that injury to the kidneys. It also lowers your risk of developing diabetes if you don't have it. That's a good reason, a little prevention there. What about the lungs? Curcumin improves lung function in cystic fibrosis. There's so precious little we can do for cystic fibrosis patients, but it actually improves their lung function. It helps to make the tenacious, thick secretions more liquid so they can clear them better. They do better. They feel better with it. Also, curcumin, this is an amazing fact that I found hard to believe till I read the whole study. Very properly and elegantly done, this study. Curcumin reverses the cellular and structural changes caused by chronic asthma. You know, with asthma, the airways squeeze down and tighten, and it's hard to breathe. And with chronic asthma, those airways become stuck. It gets thick and fibrotic, and no matter how much medicine you take, it's like trying to breathe through a small straw. They found, and they did this research in Turkey, that over time, if the chronic asthmatic stayed on curcumin, it actually reversed the changes in the lung tissue of the chronic asthmatic. That is astounding. If you ask any American doctor, can you reverse the changes of chronic asthma? They'll say, no, we don't have anything that'll do that. That's why we're so concerned about controlling your asthma and not allowing it to become chronic. Curcumin is capable of doing that. Isn't that amazing? Well, you may not have been in an emergency room with someone who's dying from asthma. It's a serious disease. Not all cases of asthma end in death, obviously, but sometimes it does. It is serious, and it's getting worse, this asthma. So remember curcumin. What about pain and inflammation? I would be willing to say that 2 out of 3 people watching this program right now are in pain. 2 out of 3. You're watching this program to help you learn more of how to get out of pain. Pain is a signal the body is failing in some way. Pain is a signal that we are not healing in some way. Let's address the pain. Let's help you heal and get past this pain. Significant reduction in pain on a dose-related basis. In other words, the more curcumin that you take, the better your pain relief. And they know how it works. They know how it works. It is equal to steroids and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs in its inflammation-lowering capability. So much of our chronic pain is induced by chronic inflammation. You're inflamed. That's why your nerves hurt. That's why you ache all over. Well, if you take your curcumin, it's equal to a steroid, but without the side effects of prednisone, dexamethasone, you know, all the different glucocorticoids. They work great on inflammation, but the side effects are prohibitive for most people. They're just terrible, their side effects. Curcumin works on that level. Or the non-steroidal, like ibuprofen, naproxen, this type of drug. These are the most commonly used drugs in the world, but they are also responsible for the most side effects of all drugs in the world. We can avoid that with these natural measures. Curcumin's a good way to do it. Curcumin reduces autoimmune inflammation. I'm talking about rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, lupus inflammation. These people truly suffer. Curcumin reduces that inflammation by at least 2 different mechanisms. Curcumin works better for rheumatoid arthritis than the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Multiple studies have shown that now. Better. Curcumin relieves osteoarthritis pain by a unique mechanism, never ever expounded before. And 2 grams of curcumin equals about 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. That's impressive. That's the big boy ibuprofen. That's prescription strength ibuprofen. 2 grams equals that. It helps to reduce oxidative stress in the kidneys. It improves the intestinal barrier in inflammatory bowel disease, reduces the number of recurrences of Crohn's, recurrences of ulcerative colitis, and you can use it with standard medicines. Also, let's do this. Let's go to our break. I have some varying study results on a variety of things that I think you'll find fascinating. Stay tuned for that. We'll be right back.
Cindy Becker.
And I'm Dr. Richard Becker. Are you thinking about your health as we approach a new year? Well, many of us do, even though our health is important every day of the year.
If you have a wellness plan in mind, December's a month with special holiday prices. Plus, shipping within the continental U.S. is free for all orders over $50.
We'd like to thank you for your continued support. It's because of you that we are able to provide this great educational service.
So call us today to restock your supplements for the coming year and tell a friend about the savings, or order online at bioinnovations.net for the best prices of the season.
We hope the new year brings you happiness and better health for your entire family. Merry Christmas.
And a happy, healthy new year. I'm Cindy Becker for Your Health at a Glance. Each year, more than 76 million Americans contract food poisoning. Most cases are caused by tainted fruits and vegetables, especially contaminated leafy lettuce. But poultry causes the most food poisoning-related deaths. To prevent food poisoning, follow these simple rules. Thoroughly wash all fruits and vegetables. When preparing any kind of meat, wash your hands, utensils, and work area before preparing any other food. Cook thoroughly chicken and ground meats. Store leftovers in the refrigerator immediately. Look for expiration dates when you shop. If you use reusable grocery totes, wash them periodically. And finally, use spices such as garlic and oregano to inhibit the growth of bacteria that cause food poisoning. Food safety lowers your risk significantly of getting sick. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Cindy Becker.
For centuries, the herb Astragalus has been a staple of traditional Chinese medicine. It's used to create a strong shield, protecting the immune system.
Astragalus is also used to support healthy heart and lung function.
There's even more. Astragalus helps to calm total body inflammation, a common cause of pain and chronic illness.
All of that without the use of medication.
That's right. Support your health the way nature intended with Astragalus root.
BioInnovations brings you Dr. Becker's Bionutrients Astragalus root extract. BioInnovations BioInnovations is the affordable source that you can trust for all your vitamin and supplement needs. Give us a call at 888-442-2128 or order online at bioinnovations.net and see what Astragalus can do for your health. That number once again is 888-442-2128. Ask about the auto ship program for additional savings. Call today. Your Health is brought to you by BioInnovations, trusted products for your health and well-being. We're back, everyone. Just a quick reminder about that holiday savings time at BioInnovations. You don't want to miss it. So, Richard, I know time is short. We've got a little bit more to share on curcumin.
Yes, a variety of actions. Curcumin is effective against at least 14 different strains of candida. So those of us struggling with the yeast syndrome, curcumin is an excellent addition, nice natural antibiotic. It also helps to improve antibiotic activity against drug-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. You know, MRSA, MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staph aureus. This is nasty stuff. Curcumin helps to win that battle. What else? Curcumin reduces biofilms laid down by infectious organisms. These biofilms are hiding places for the bacteria. Antibiotics don't go into there. This is one of the reasons why if you get a prosthetic device that becomes infected, it may have to come out. Like a hip joint, it has to come out, and they start over. It's a real problem. Well, curcumin reduces the biofilm so it doesn't get infected, chronically infected in the first place. Isn't that amazing? What else? Protection against iron overload, arsenic poisoning, copper poisoning, cadmium poisoning. Curcumin is a fantastic chelator. It binds up those heavy metals and it helps pull them out, and it does it gently. It helps to regress endometriosis. Endometriosis, terrible condition to have. Vitamin D with curcumin. Give it a couple cycles, lady. The endometriosis is going to get better. I promise you, it makes a tremendous difference. There's other things you can do with that, but do your curcumin, vitamin D for endometriosis. Let's see. COX-2 enzyme. What else? 5-6, heart disease. Oh, the thing I really want to get across to people is this notion that curcumin doesn't absorb. Well, there's some truth to that. Curcumin is a strictly oil-soluble molecule, and so our bodies are basically water-soluble, and so we only absorb a small % of what we ingest of the curcumin. But if you know how to prepare the curcumin extract and you include emulsifying oils, such as the found in the rhizome itself, in the root structure of the curcumin, the turmeric plant, if we include those into the soft gel as emulsifying agent, we can increase our absorption 800% or more. And that's exactly what we've done with this curcumin preparation. We include those rhizome oils, these natural products that are part of the turmeric root, and it dramatically increases the absorption of curcumin. So the point of that is you don't have to take 10 gel caps. 1 or 2 is enough for most applications. It's safe to take more if you need it. If you're fighting cancer or something, you might want to take more. But for most of us, 1 or 2 gel caps a day, that's it. That's all you need to do. You're absorbing enough to have this type of effect. Well, folks, curcumin is among the most remarkable biochemicals ever discovered. Humans have been safely ingesting curcumin for hundreds, even thousands of years. The safety profile is outstanding. No influence on bleeding times. New study. No interactions with medicines. That's a godsend. Make it a part of your health today. Thank you, folks. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Your Health. Bye-bye.
I'll never forget the time I met Dr. Stanley. I told him my idea to plant a church for broken and hurting people, but that I was afraid. He said, "Brian, don't you know God will take responsibility for all of the consequences of a heart that's fully devoted to Him?"
Join Jim, Lori, and the Baker family every day for prophetic updates, These are revelation days.
Inspirational ministry.
We need to stay alert. We don't live in fear. We live in faith.
And powerful teachings from charismatic ministers, prophets, and influential figures